Hey, what's up everybody? Platform Disciple here, bringing you the first of a new series, which is going to be Weird Card Wednesday. It's quite late into this Wednesday. In the future, I will be filming beforehand and then uploading on Wednesday, as opposed to filming on Wednesday and getting you a late video. But what we're going to be doing is looking at unusual Magic cards, hopefully ones that you've never heard of before, and going into a little bit of an in-depth discussion about them. And this is an older card, you might be able to tell by kind of the way the back of it looks. And it's going to be Illicit Auction, which was originally printed in Mirage, and it is a rare, although the symbol doesn't indicate that. That's just kind of how older sets were. And it was later reprinted in 6th edition also as a rare. The card is legal in any format where those two sets are legal, and it's a 5-mana sorcery for 3 colorless, 2 red, and it reads, choose target creature, each player may bid life for control of that creature. You begin the bidding with a high bid of 0. Proceeding in turn order, each player may top the high bid. The auction ends when the high bid stands. The high bidder loses an amount of life equal to the high bid and gains control of the creature. And with older cards, sometimes the text gets tweaked a little bit to fit the current rules a little better. So I'm going to read you that errated text, which is each player may bid life for control of target creature. You may start the bidding with a bid of 0. In turn order, each player may top the high bid. The bidding ends if the high bid stands. The high bidder loses life equal to the high bid and gains control of the creature. This effect lasts indefinitely, so more or less the same kind of text, but slightly tweaked to fit the rules. And it's an interesting card because it's either going to gain you control of a creature, or your opponent is going to lose a lot of life, making it function like a burn spell. It's also quite notable that in multiplayer, every player at the table is bidding, which means that if I target player A's creature, player B is also incentivized to get in on this bid because that creature might be one that they are worth paying a lot of life for. So very interesting multiplayer card. And there's only 3 cards in existence, this being one of them, that have the bid mechanic. There's Mage's Contest, which is a counterspell, and Pain's Reward, which incentivizes players to pay life to draw cards. But the biggest difference here is that with the counterspell, not every player at the table is incentivized to bid if it's a multiplayer game. If I'm countering player A's spell, player B has absolutely no incentive to get in on the bid action because there's no payoff for them. So that's a little bit of a disappointment for that one. Pain's Reward does have the same kind of multiplayer interaction, but I do like Illicit Auction a lot because you can really see what kind of impact it's going to have because the creature is a much easier thing to measure how much life it's worth bidding for than the 4 cards, which could be, well, who knows what the 4 cards could be. Not that 4 cards isn't powerful. Drawing 4 cards is very powerful. It's just this is an easier card to evaluate how much life is worth bidding for. So it's a really interesting game mechanic, but the one question you may have is, why have we not seen more bid cards? And the answer for that shortly is that the card can slow down the game a little bit, because when you do this bidding process, it pauses the game while you continue the bidding. And for a card that's very impactful like Illicit Auction, that's okay. And it's also okay because there's so few of this effect in the game. But if it was a very common effect and happened on cards that didn't have high game impact, you'd be slowing the game down for no reason. So if we ever do see this kind of effect again, you can expect to see it on high impact rares and maybe mythics. And if we're lucky, maybe it would come out of a multiplayer set like the Commander sets. Anyways, one kind of big thing to note about Illicit Auction and these other bid cards is that they allow you to bid more life than you have, and I have double checked this. So if I have 5 life, I can bid 10 if I want, in which case I would die. But there are some problems with that, which is that there are cards that allow you to go below 0 life without dying. So let's say me and my opponent both have a Platinum Angel in play, and my opponent is at -5 life. If I cast Illicit Auction on their Platinum Angel, there's one of two possible outcomes. One is they keep their Platinum Angel and lose a lot of life. and the game continues. The other option is I gain control of their Platinum Angel and they lose the game because they're already at negative life. Because the game will end in my victory and their loss, if I win the bid, they will bid any amount of life, any amount. And I will also bid any amount of life to try to win that bid because it's game deciding. And there's no cap on this. So I can start the bid at 5 million, they up the bid to 6 million, and we just keep going. And there's no end that makes, sense other than somebody just giving up. So very unusual circumstance for that to occur. But if they ever made a card like this again, I'm sure they would add the line of text, "You may not bid more life than you have." It's that simple. It fixes the problem. But as it stands, this card can run into circumstances where you cast it and the game gets stuck. Like the game just doesn't continue. So that's something you don't want as far as the card design goes. But anyways, it's a super fun card that I have played quite a bit with in Commander, and I can highly recommend that you do the same. It's not a very powerful card in Commander, but it's one that makes for very memorable game experiences. I remember casting this on an Ulamog and going around the table with some friends, bidding a little bit of life at a time, and suddenly one of my friends was like, "If I get this Ulamog, I'm gonna win. I pay 39 of my 40 life." And we're like, "Yeah, it's all yours." Go ahead. And he lost the turn afterwards. So very fun card. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you like the style of this video, I will be doing them every Wednesday, but I also want you to kind of give me some feedback if you did like this video, so I know that it's worth investing my time to do this every single Wednesday. So let me know by liking the video, by commenting that you liked the video, or however you want to let me know that this is the kind of video you would like to see. So until next time, everybody, peace out.